Most men spend months, sometimes years, chasing women who've already made their decision. They just haven't said it out loud. She'll still smile. She might even reply sometimes. But her heart? Already gone. You think she's taking her time. You think she's unsure. But the truth, she's just not choosing you. In today's world, where attention is everywhere and effort is rare, you cannot afford to misread silence as mystery. If she's not showing up, not initiating, not making space for you, it's not a puzzle. It's a message. You're not here to decode mixed signals. You're here to read the truth, reclaim your self-respect, and walk away from anything less than clarity. Here are 7 signs she's not into you. No confusion, no sugarcoating. Just the hard truth most men don't want to admit. Before we dive into these signs, do me a quick favor. Subscribe if you're ready to stop chasing confusion and start leading with clarity. Like this video if you've ever been stuck in that emotional gray zone. And let me know what city you're watching from. I read every comment, and it reminds me how many men are waking up from the same illusion. Now let's get back to the story, because what you're about to see are not signals to decode, but red flags you can't afford to ignore. Sign number 1. She rarely replies. Not slowly, not late, rarely. And that single word tells you more than any excuse she could ever offer. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, her energy flows toward you, even in the little things. You don't have to double text. You don't have to wonder when she'll respond, because connection creates urgency. Desire doesn't delay. But when her replies come hours later, when her messages are dry, short, and feel more like obligation than engagement, that's not confusion. That's clarity wearing a polite mask. And yet, this is where most men betray themselves. They rationalize. She's just not a big texter. She's probably busy. Maybe she's shy. No, she's scrolling Instagram, liking stories, watching reels, commenting on memes. She's active, just not with you. If she wanted to respond, she would. If she valued the connection, she'd nurture it. And if she doesn't, your persistence isn't noble. It's self-sacrifice. You're pouring your energy into a dead circuit and expecting a spark. Here's the brutal part. The more you try, the worse it gets. Because now she sees it. The imbalance. You're chasing. She's distant. And that desperation, it kills attraction faster than rejection ever could. You become predictable, over-available, too easy. She knows she doesn't have to work for your attention. And anything freely given, without effort, is undervalued. Think about it. Would you fight to impress someone who barely notices you? Would you keep knocking on a door that only opens out of politeness? A man who knows his worth doesn't tolerate ghost interval texting. He doesn't accept digital breadcrumbs and call it communication. He reads her energy, not her excuses. If her phone's in her hand all day and your message gets a one-word reply at midnight, that's not bad timing. That's low priority. And you are not here to audition for a role she's already filled with someone else. You don't win her interest by being more patient, more thoughtful, more persistent. You win your power back by noticing the moment her effort stops matching yours and stepping back. Let her feel the silence she's been feeding you. Let the distance speak louder than your double texts. Because here's the truth most men never learn. When you stop chasing, you force her to choose. And if she doesn't move toward you, she was never meant to stay. Sign number 2. She's always busy. Let's be clear. Being busy is real. We all have lives, responsibilities, deadlines. But in the world of attraction, busy is rarely about time. It's about priority. When a woman says she's too busy to text back, too busy to call, too busy to meet, she's not lying about her schedule. She's revealing where you stand in it. And if you're always the one waiting, rescheduling, checking in and getting met with maybe, I'll see, or let me get back to you, you've already been placed in the background. A woman who wants you doesn't let busyness block connection. She finds a way. Even 5 minutes between meetings, even a voice note in traffic, even a late night just thinking about you message when her day finally ends. Because effort isn't about availability, it's about desire. But when she always says, "This week's been crazy," or "I've just been going through a lot," but somehow finds time to go out with friends, post stories, binge Netflix, or like 27 things online, you're not facing a scheduling conflict, you're facing emotional disengagement. And here's where good men get trapped. They mistake patience for maturity. They think, "I'm being understanding. I'm giving her space. I'm not pressuring her." But in reality, you're adapting to neglect. You're accepting the slow fade as if it's part of the dance. A woman who truly values you won't risk losing you to a busy week. She'll shift things around. She'll communicate. She'll create a pocket of time, even if small, because real interest doesn't need reminders. But the one who keeps you hanging, she's not overbooked. She's emotionally unavailable and keeping you around as a soft landing just in case. That's the hidden cost of accommodating her busyness. You become the flexible one, the easy one. The man she knows won't walk away, no matter how long she disappears. And guess what happens when a woman knows that? She stops trying. Not because she's cruel, but because she doesn't fear losing you. There's no urgency when there's no risk. No effort when there's no consequence. So here's your move. Stop bending. Stop offering multiple options, extra days, endless understanding. Let her make a decision, not just when she's free, but when she actually wants you there. Because a woman who's truly busy will still make room. But a woman who's truly disinterested, she'll use busy as the most socially acceptable way to slowly disappear. And the longer you pretend it's just a rough week, the deeper you sink into a one-sided illusion. Your time is not a filler for her convenience. It's a standard that must be earned. Sign number 3, she never initiates. Think about how attraction actually works. In any real connection, effort flows both ways. There's curiosity, engagement, that natural urge to reach out, not because you have to, but because you want to. So when you're always the one texting first, calling, planning, checking in, and she never does, that's not just a small imbalance. That's a loud silence. A woman who never initiates isn't forgetting. She's not old-fashioned. She's just not drawn to you. And men make 2 critical mistakes here. 1, they romanticize her passivity. She's shy, they say. She probably just likes being pursued. But the truth is, no woman lets silence grow between her and a man she actually wants. 2, they compensate. They reach out more, get funnier, more thoughtful. They try to spark something that isn't there, as if they can impress her into caring. But what you're really doing, you're training her, teaching her she doesn't need to try, that you'll always initiate, that you'll keep showing up whether she engages or not. And here's the danger in that. When a woman doesn't work for your attention, she doesn't value it. When she invests nothing, she risks nothing. And when there's no risk, there's no reward, no emotional return, no sense of earned connection. You become background noise, reliable, predictable, disposable. Meanwhile, she still gets your validation, still enjoys your presence, still benefits from your consistency, without giving anything in return. That's not attraction, that's audience. You're not in a relationship, you're in a performance. A woman who wants you wants to be remembered. So she reminds you of her presence. She sends the meme. She shares the thought. She texts just to check in. Not always, not constantly, but consistently enough to show you one thing. You matter. If you've never received that, not once, that's not a slow burn. That's a dead match. Stop letting "she never texts first" become a joke you tolerate. It's not funny. It's emotional imbalance disguised as feminine mystique. Here's the move. Step back, stop initiating, see what she does. If she notices and starts showing up, maybe you just reset the dynamic. But if she disappears into that silence, then congratulations. You just stopped watering a dead plant. Sign number 4, she avoids physical closeness. We're not talking about sex, we're talking about space. The kind of unconscious, instinctive space a woman either lets you into or keeps you out of. You can fake interest with words, you can fake warmth with a smile, but you can't fake body language. The body never lies. When a woman is drawn to you, she doesn't even think about it. She leans in, she sits closer, she touches your arm when she laughs. She lets the silence feel safe. That kind of closeness isn't strategic. It's emotional gravity. But when she consistently creates distance, when she shifts away when you sit near, when your hug feels stiff, cold, or cut short, when her eyes dart around instead of meeting yours, that's not caution, that's disconnection. And here's the trap. She might still talk to you. She might still smile, still show up, even go out. But everything about her body is screaming, not this man. Most guys ignore this. They tell themselves she's just taking it slow, that she's been hurt, that she needs time to open up. But physical closeness is not a negotiation. It's chemistry. It either exists or it doesn't. And when it doesn't, no amount of patience, politeness, or presence will manufacture it. You start leaning in more, trying harder, softening your energy to make her comfortable. But all you're really doing is accepting her discomfort as normal, when it's actually your rejection being disguised as her boundary. Let's make one thing very clear. A woman who is attracted to you will not shrink from your presence. She'll feel safer when you're near, not more guarded. She won't flinch from your touch. She won't avoid eye contact. She won't freeze up when you're close. She'll invite you in, maybe subtly, maybe slowly, but willingly. But if every inch feels like an effort, if she backs away every time you reach forward, if her entire body language says, "Don't come closer," then she's already gone. She's just too polite to say it with words. Don't confuse passivity for permission. And don't let fear of being too pushy stop you from reading the room. If her energy doesn't lean in, you don't lean further. You pull back. Because here's the rule most men never learn. You don't have to chase what's naturally drawn to you. And when a woman is constantly creating space, she's not building attraction, she's building a wall. Your job isn't to knock it down, it's to know when to walk away. Sign number 5, she talks about other men. This one stings, not because it's subtle, but because it's so obvious that most guys refuse to believe what it really means. When a woman consistently brings up other men around you, her ex, her guy friend, her coworker, even random dudes from her weekend, she's not being transparent. She's not testing you. She's not being open. She's disqualifying you. That's how women softly remove you from the running, by making it clear, without confrontation, that their romantic attention is already elsewhere. You think you're being let in. You think, she trusts me, she's sharing. But what she's actually doing is recasting you as the friend, the therapist, the safe space. And once you're in that role, you don't get promoted. You stay there, nodding politely while she gushes about guys who aren't texting her back, not realizing she's doing the exact same thing to you. Let's make this brutal truth clear. A woman who truly wants you does not advertise other men in your presence. Why? Because it kills the tension. It diverts your attention. It breaks the frame. She knows what she's doing. She knows mentioning other guys signals availability, uncertainty, or worse, lack of interest. And if she actually felt something for you, she wouldn't risk disrupting that with pointless male name drops. Some women do this as a defense mechanism. They know you're interested, but they're not. So they casually mention other guys to keep things safe, distanced, platonic. Others do it out of habit. They enjoy male attention, and they've learned that mixing in jealousy or competition keeps men on edge. But either way, the message is the same. You are not the one. And yet, most men fall deeper when they hear this. They start competing. They try to prove they're better. They say, "He doesn't deserve you," thinking it will earn them points. It won't. Because the more you tolerate her talking about other men, the more you reinforce your own irrelevance. You're showing her that your interest comes with no boundary, that she can casually crush your hope with stories of other guys, and you'll just smile through it. But a man with standards doesn't play that game. He listens once, then steps back, because he knows something most guys forget. If you're not the man she saves her attention for, you're the man she spends it around. And that's not a position of power. That's a placeholder, a seat filler, a just in case. Don't let her turn you into an emotional spare tire. If she's talking about other men, especially casually, constantly, or without filtering, she's telling you who she's thinking about. Believe her. Sign number 6. She doesn't ask you questions. Silence isn't always rejection, but indifference? That's loud. And in any emotional connection, curiosity is the pulse. If she's not curious about you, she's not connecting with you. A woman who's into you wants to know who you are, not just what you do. She asks about your past. She leans into your passions. She wants to understand what makes you think, laugh, hurt, and heal. Why? Because interest always seeks depth. But when all she does is answer, never ask, you're not having a conversation. You're performing a monologue, and most men don't even notice it. They keep talking. They fill the silence. They share more, hoping she'll finally bite. But here's the truth. If she wanted to know more, she would have asked. Instead, she nods, smiles, responds in short phrases, but never reaches for more, never follows up, never digs deeper. That's not mystery. That's detachment. And here's the hidden danger. You start mistaking her quiet presence for peace. You think, wow, she's such a good listener. But the truth is, she's not listening because she cares. She's listening because she's unbothered. There's no emotional investment in her silence, just tolerance. And men fall into a dangerous trap here. They think if they just open up more, show more sides of themselves, share more dreams, she'll eventually feel something. But feelings don't grow from being told. They grow from being involved. You don't earn her interest by being more interesting. You earn it by noticing when she's not making the effort to care. Because real attraction is active. It pulls you in. It makes you want to know. And when she feels that spark, she won't just listen. She'll lean forward. She'll ask about your family, your goals, your views on life. She'll remember things you said last week. She'll circle back and connect the dots. But if she's not asking you anything, if she doesn't know where you're from, what you love, what keeps you up at night, it's not because she forgot. It's because she didn't want to know. Let that sink in. Because when a woman truly sees you, sees your presence as meaningful, she explores it. She steps into your world with curiosity, not just convenience. And if you've been carrying the conversation alone, week after week, hoping she'll finally reciprocate, it's time to stop talking. See what happens when the silence is on her. If she steps up and fills it, maybe you've got something worth exploring. But if she lets it die quietly, then so should you. Sign number 7. She keeps you a secret. There's a difference between privacy and hiding. And most men don't recognize that until it's too late. When a woman is truly into you, she naturally integrates you into her world. You don't have to ask to be seen. She'll drop your name in conversation. She'll mention you to friends. She'll find subtle ways to make you part of her everyday life. Not because she needs to announce it, but because she feels it. And when a woman feels something real, she doesn't hide it. She honors it. But when she keeps you in the shadows, when none of her friends know your name, when her social media says nothing about your existence, when she dodges every chance to be seen with you in public, that's not protection. That's omission. And omission is always a decision. Here's the worst part. Some men think it's romantic. They think it's mysterious. They say, she's private. That's just how she is. No, that's not how she is. That's how she treats you. Because when a woman wants to be claimed, she claims back. She drops the guards. She opens her world. She signals, this man is part of my life. But if she keeps you hidden, only texting late, only meeting in private, never introducing you, never referencing you, you're not her man. You're her secret access point. And the longer you play along, the more you teach her that you're okay being the option she doesn't have to acknowledge. Sometimes, she's not hiding you out of shame. She's hiding you to keep doors open, to entertain other men, to avoid questions, to stay technically single while emotionally draining you in the background. And if you let that happen, you become complicit in your own invisibility. Let's go deeper. Ask yourself this. Have you ever been out in public and felt like she was trying to downplay your presence? Like she wasn't sure what to call you? Like she avoided contact when others were around? That's not insecurity. That's insulation. She's not nervous about being seen with you. She's unwilling to be identified with you. And no man of value accepts that. A woman who wants you in her life will gradually, genuinely let you in. She doesn't have to post you on day one, but she will make it known, in words, in presence, in energy, that you're not just some side story. So if you're stuck in the shadows, constantly waiting to be acknowledged, constantly feeling like a ghost in her world, the message is clear. You were never part of her picture. You were just passing through the frame. So now you've seen it. 7 signs, 7 clear, unapologetic signals that she's not into you. Not maybe, not mixed messages, not she's just confused. No, she knows what she's doing, and now, so do you. You see, most men lose not because they're weak, but because they refuse to see the truth. They stay stuck in the gray zone, addicted to potential, wasting months, sometimes years, chasing after someone who quietly made her decision long ago. And every time you ignore a red flag, you trade clarity for fantasy. You trade power for passivity. You trade self-respect for silent rejection. But here's what you need to hear. You are not here to beg for attention. You are not here to decode indifference. You are not here to fight for someone who would never fight for you. You're here to lead, to recognize energy, to respect yourself so deeply that any woman who can't match that energy gets left behind, not with hate, but with truth. Because the man who walks away from disrespect doesn't lose. He wins. He wins time. He wins clarity. He wins back the version of himself he gave away, trying to earn what should have been mutual. So what now? Take inventory. Look back at the conversations, the silences, the delays, the breadcrumbs. How many of these 7 signs have you seen? 1, 3, all of them? Don't panic. Don't retaliate. Just act. Step back. Reclaim your space. Rebuild your boundaries. And then, elevate. Because the second you stop begging for low-effort love is the moment you become the man high-value women notice and chase. Let this be the moment you stop chasing what's walking away. Let this be the moment you stop making excuses for being ignored. Because real connection doesn't need translation. It speaks loud. It moves clear. And when it's real, you'll never need to question it. And hey, if this video hit you hard, that's a good thing. Truth should wake you up. So here's what to do next. Subscribe, because we're not done. This channel is built to wake men up, one brutal truth at a time. Like this video if you saw yourself in these signs, and share it with a brother who's still stuck chasing mixed signals. You're not an option. Act like it.